Groovy. And if for any reason that's not happening, just let me know.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. I'll let you know as soon as I know.
Groovy. All right.
And then allow the recording.
Look at that. I cannot get tired of that statue. Okay. And counting down in 3, 2, 1. Hello. Welcome to Kill the Bottle Podcast. That is Amora, aka the Yum Yum Foodie, and always my lovely co-host Megan Elizabeth. How are you?
Great.
Yeah. I think
so good.
I think you've gotten the droll great, just as so
Great.
down as
I'm
possible.
Fine. No, I'm
At least you don't have
good.
vocal fry like contestants on The Bachelor.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
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 See, find a positive. It is called Kill the Bottle Podcast, and in honor of two guests, we're having a sip of something today. In honor of one previous guest on the show, Mr. Paul Feig, we are drinking a gin martini using his Arding Stall's delicious friggin' gin. So that's what we're using in our gin martini. And in honor of the gentleman we're about to speak to, another previous guest, one thing that we love to do here on Kill the Bottle is really acknowledge and support folks that have supported us and any new endeavor, any fun thing that they're doing. And without further ado, I want to bring this guest on. We are drinking the gin martini for a friend of the show who loves martinis. Oh, Mr.
I just said peace out, man. Peace. I mean peace. Peace.
Peace
Not
out.
peace out.
Leave.
Not peace out. Not peace out.
Not peace out. Okay, so just peace because he loves a good martini. If you don't recognize that sultry voice, that is Mr. Craig Kilborn. Hello, Craig.
Thank you, guys. It's good to be home. It's good to be back. Hey, you're not mad if I drink vodka martinis. I mean, gin is the classic. That's what they started with years ago. And then it went to vodka. But I drink vodka martinis. But I'll try gin. I've done it a few times. I've had a Vesper and,
Yeah, go for it. Drink. My thing is as much as I drink, and I don't know about you, but I always find like the better the vodka, the less it tastes like vodka. And the better the gin, it still tastes like some kind of botanicals or something like that. So what's your go-to vodka? You may have told us before, but I'm brain farting.
Well, I like Chopin vodka, which is made from potatoes. That's my favorite, followed by Belvedere.
Okay.
And then there's another one that's not on that tier, but I used to drink it a lot, called Kettle One. So those are my three.
Well, that's cool because those are three you can kind of find everywhere.
Yeah.
It's not like you're busting out some obscure vodka that is only going to be available at one bar in London kind of thing.
Yeah. There's an expensive one called Jewel of Russia. That's kind of fun, but I haven't had that in a few years. I don't drink as much as I drink a lot of red wine, and I save the vodka for special occasions.
Yeah. Well, last time you were on the show, I think you were having a martini and we were drinking some red wine. And today I was like, you know what, I'm inspired because of your posts lately. So what I'm referring to is Craig on Instagram, just to feel like a man of the people. He loves to get on there and really connect. And he's been out and about. He's been at Republic here in LA. He's been
Republic.
And now I gotta admit,
Which is right by my house. I love that place. Yeah.
I'm a Kilbornie. Is that your fan club? I guess I'm a Kilbornie. Is that a new? I don't know. Is that
I
a thing?
haven't heard that.
I just made it up.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going with a martini for you, even though I did make it different, and I put orange peel instead of lemon, and I used 2 dashes of orange bitters from Scrappy's, and then 1 dash of Angostura bitters. So just like a nice round gin martini.
And that's your friend Paul Feig. Is that correct?
Yeah, this is Paul's gin.
Yeah, it's pronounced Feig, correct? He's a bit of a legend. Yeah, he likes. A friend of mine wanted us to meet on Instagram, but he's a really talented guy, and he loves his gin. Yeah, he has his own brand, I believe. Megan, a quick question for you. Republic, which you say is near your house, I can actually walk there as well because we live in beautiful Hancock Park, which is an old historic area. But they have a brunch.
Yeah.
And I don't go to that.
Why would you? You have to wait in a line.
There is a line, and I just would never wait in line. And I'm assuming they're probably smart this way, that the lunches and the brunches are a different price point than the, big big cash up for dinner. I mean, it's pricey for dinner, but all these young people for brunch, there's no way they can afford,
Yeah,
so the
and
prices must be down during the brunch.
I think they are. Well, I think they're not down. It's LA. Let's be real. But they are. They are. It's still it's
reasonable.
I don't know. Yeah, it's like $18 for a meal, and then you get a drink on top of that, and of course the mimosas. I think they have really good food, which is great.
It's a great building. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Beautiful.
It looks like they don't do like a service at a table. What you do is you order right up front, and you go and sit, and then that's why there's a line out the door because people are ordering there.
I see.
So it could kind of trick you. Yeah. And then you go sit and there's usually room, and then they bring you your food. But I did the New Year's Eve tasting menu there. They like up until midnight. And we had like New Year's Eve, and everyone got champagne at midnight, and it was like a 5-course meal. I did it by myself at the bar.
That sounds great.
Great way to do it.
It was really fun. It was good. So that's a great
I
place.
know.
Republic.
So I know I know we're going to talk about my upcoming podcast, Eddie, because you're so on top of this. But
you have a podcast?
Coming up, starting now. Oh, I see. That was by the way, is this audio only or video as well? Does this play with?
There's some video.
There's some video, which our lovely our lovely newsletter subscribers get to see. So
cool.
it's not for everybody.
No, we'll do
because I otherwise I'll turn off my conquistador lamp because I'm burning kerosene. What's it called? I called it something today. Well, I fill it with the what's it called? I can't remember.
Lamp oil? I don't know.
Yeah, but
what is this lamp
kerosene
going on?
You guys got to see this lamp regardless. You got to jump on YouTube and see Craig. I mean, I'm sure it pops up on Instagram too, but I saw it today on your trailer for your show on YouTube. Well, it's funny because I was going to lead to that when you mentioned Paul Feig, because regardless would love to connect you to him, even though I know you have a friend with him, but I think you and him would have a blast.
Oh, he's so funny. Both
chatting
on hilarious.
Your show.
Oh yeah, he's a character. But he also he has I'm an Anglophile, and he appears to maybe potentially be an Anglophile as well. But anyways, I just wanted to say one thing back to Republic before we get to the podcast, and we can do whatever you want. But so Megan, I know the owner of Republic, but I also know Sean, who is the bar manager of Republic and all their other restaurants. They have Petty Cash, and the one that they have that I really like is over on Pico, and it's called Bicyclette.
Yes, I've heard of this.
Oh,
I'm writing it down so I can remember. Yeah, I've heard of this.
Yeah, it's a building that used to house a different restaurant that was before my time, or I didn't know it. And then so downstairs you have the bistro Bicyclette, which is they have this poached egg in a shell with caviar. It's just
my God, my favorite.
They have an onion tart.
Talk dirty to me.
But upstairs they opened Mansky, which is Walter Mansky, the owner of Republic and all the restaurants. It's his empire. And it's called Mansky, and that's a prefix, and that's a pricey one, and it's kind of fun. And I've been at the bar there, but Sean is the guy. And anyways, it's one of my favorite places.
Yeah.
Now it's so funny because you are a Carmel lover like I am, and when I saw something called Bicyclette, I got really excited because I thought it was associated, to one of my favorite restaurants in Carmel called La Bicyclette. But still, the fact that it's affiliated with Republic, we're golden. So
you live near Koreatown. Do you ever get to do some Korean barbecue?
I'm closer to Larchmont than Koreatown, so I'm not that, but it's on it's over there. And I've been to, I should ask you guys, the places I know there are Here's Looking at You.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a good
They
place.
have a taste where I think the place next to them, Kin, has a tasting menu, same owner.
Yeah, I've only been there once years ago, and then I thought they closed, but now they're reopened. And then have you been to the Normandy Club at the Normandy Hotel?
Yes. I've been all the bars.
Yeah, I haven't been there.
So I have a question. I went there once early, and there was only one other guy there because it was really early. And I had a nice martini. And then I had to meet somebody somewhere. But do they have food there?
I've never ordered food there. I think it's just drinks.
Okay, I just can't imagine a bar without food because it would be dangerous, wouldn't it be?
Yeah.
I mean,
This
Yeah.
is
you
in a
gotta-
lot of places, Craig.
you gotta eat, man, when you're drinking.
Do ya? Do ya?
Well, yeah, I mean, especially if you're drinking spirit forward stuff, and you
I
know,
like to go
before you know
straight,
it, you
straight
have,
for the booze.
you know, like that's why Musso and Frank's exist, so you can have a good martini and then be like, you know what, I think it's time for a steak or something that could fill me up to the to that next level.
Yeah, there's a few down there. Frank's, I think there's a place called Frank's that they don't have food. There's a few bars that are foodless bars.
That's
they have to have a
hilarious.
different license.
I think it's
too, when they do
dangerous.
that.
I think it's very dangerous.
Noted. We'll put that down in your resume.
Are you a chocolate chip cookie guy by any chance?
It's funny you asked that. It's funny you asked that. I have a segment on my new podcast called The Life Gorgeous.
Yes.
And the segment is called Lord Kilby Leadership, where I share my exquisite taste and we also get to know something about the guest. And I crossed out the question today. I went with favorite pie. These are deep questions.
That's deep.
Wow. That's a
And
little rough
I
for me.
crossed out
Steve.
favorite. I crossed out favorite cookie and went. Was it best cookie or favorite? I think it was favorite cookie, because most people are going to say chocolate chip. So I took that out because I thought the pie was more interesting, and it was. But the answer is it's okay. Everyone likes chocolate chip cookies. My wife loves chocolate chip cookies. I like them with walnuts.
Well, yeah. The
Right?
place that's opening up on Larchmont is like legendary. They just bought a space on Larchmont. It's my favorite chocolate chip cookie in the world. It's a place from New York City on the Upper West Side called Levain.
Ooh.
And it was just announced that they bought a space
In Larchmont?
in Larchmont,
Near me.
near Craig
Near
and
you.
near you.
Near me.
And they make the most spectacular chocolate chip walnut cookies I've ever had. That's the reason I brought it up, and I'm glad it
Wow.
aligned with your podcast. But
gosh.
What else
maybe we
do
should go
they
back to
have?
cookies.
What else do they have there?
so they've got a variety of cookies. I just tell
Is
folks,
it a cookie place or what?
they're known for their cookie. They've got breads too.
Okay.
But it's one of those things where if you've ever been and you're a fan of theirs and you tell somebody to go and they don't at least get one of the chocolate chip cookie, you want to just smack them across the head and
Right.
at least say, hey, get that first. But they make amazing peanut butter cookies. They do, and they actually make an oatmeal cookie that doesn't feel like an oatmeal cookie. No offense to oatmeal cookies. Yeah.
Raising my hand. I don't have a sweet tooth.
Okay.
I have this. I'm savory. I like
Me
white
too.
cheddar. White cheddar popcorn is my go-to
Mm.
snack. But my favorite cookie is, in fact, oatmeal. And my mommy used to make shredded coconut oatmeal cookies
Oh,
instead of raisins. Shredded coconut
For the win, Mom.
and that is chewy, 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 chewy.
That's for
and
the win
I
right there.
love oatmeal cookies.
All right. So you mentioned the Life Glorious, which
Gorgeous.
what a great name.
The Life
Oh,
Gorgeous.
the Life Gorgeous. Pardon me.
It is
the thing is, your
glorious,
life
though.
is glorious.
It is
So
glorious.
based on the mahogany
Tagline,
and
Life Gorgeous.
and your grand piano, which I am a piano fan, and I haven't had a piano in my home for 20 years, and I miss having one.
Right.
Where did besides inspiration from Megan and I, where did you decide to say finally I'm going to come together and put together a podcast?
Oh, I think the Instagram has been going so well, and so it's so positive, such a positive thing. It's very easy and fun to do. There are no meetings, it's like there are no executives. I do whatever I want. I write whatever I want. And it's creative. It's a creative outlet. But for years, people wanted me to do a podcast, obviously. And I could have done one years ago, obviously, but I didn't want, it was usually you'd have the person at your house. You'd have across from you. And I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do it in my garage. I didn't want to do it in my den. And then after COVID, all the Zoom stuff and split screen. And then I just said, there's so many people, I'm getting so many DMs from people that want me to do a podcast. So I said I would do it. And I do something, I grew up in Minnesota in the Twin Cities, and there's a guy named Dan Barrero who dominates the market on the KFan, and he does the drive time from 3 to 6. And I'm on his show every couple months. We talk Timberwolves and Vikings and other movies, and it's enjoyable. And so he encouraged me, and Minneapolis and Minnesota encouraged me to do a podcast, as did my followers on Instagram. So we're going to do it.
Is there going to be a video portion for the guys listening at home or the girls listening at home? How could they find your podcast once it drops? Because if I'm not mistaken, today is the lucky, it's an exclusive here that Craig's podcast is dropping today. I love saying dropping.
Stop what you're doing. Turn us off. Get over there.
I have to, because I have this conquistador lamp and I'm doing it from my mahogany panel den with the warm lighting. It's going to be, there's a video element. Yeah. You go to, it's going to be on YouTube.
That's amazing.
So it's, I have a YouTube channel and I want the young people to subscribe, all your followers. It's Sir Craig Kilborn, the YouTube channel. And you can also go there and ask me a question. There's a recording where you can leave a message and ask me a question. I'll answer them on the air during the podcast.
I went on there and I left a comment today and I'm like, wait, I didn't see a record. Now I got to find that and start.
Yeah, there's a banner on there and it says leave the message. So you hit Sir Craig Kilborn. There's a banner in the right corner. It says leave a message.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. You're more sophisticated than us. We need to up our game.
I think Megan and I post podcast recording anytime we're slightly inebriated. We're probably going to drunk dial you and just leave you.
We have some questions.
Why not? We should leave Craig a fun.
We have some messages.
Instead of you drunk dialing me like you do, Friday night at 10 o'clock.
I have 3 messages.
You should leave one for Craig. I like that. And what is the, I don't want to say angle to your podcast, but what
premise? What word are you looking for? Premise?
But premises can change. But let's say premise. What would be the premise of your show?
Did that bother you when she said that word?
I mean,
she looked at you like,
without revealing too much, the way she looks at me, judging.
She was saying in high school I was an A student and you were a C+ student. That's how I took it.
Yeah, pretty much.
2.8. I got through
it. So it's called The Life Gorgeous. It's a celebration of my magical life, and I hope to help others improve their lives as well. I will have my friends on, some of my writer friends on from the old Late Late Show and comedy friends, and I'll have some actors on, and I'm going to have a guy on like the voice. These are people I like. Ryan Russillo is going to be on. I recorded him. He might even be the first guest today. We have another guy from the Timberwolves that we're thinking about, but we're gonna drop these because you like that word. There's a gentleman who's the voice of the Brooklyn Nets named Ian Eagle, and I've always liked Ian. He also works for TNT, and he's going to be on one of the first shows. So I'll interview these people. One thing that I do, and we can actually do it right now. One thing that I do with every guest is I ask them, and I've been doing this for 30 years at dinner over with friends, top 5 movies of all time.
Oh,
go ahead, Megan. You go first.
Stressful.
Now it's very difficult.
I don't want to be judged.
On the spot. I didn't tell you this beforehand, but this is what I do with each guest. I'm giving you time to think, Megan.
Oh,
and also, I also say, if it's too much pressure, realize you can change the list 5 minutes later. If you're like, I can't narrow it down to 5. Yeah. Sometimes I let people honorable mention of 2. If you're really struggling, just name 3. But anyway, what do you guys think? You want to start, Eddie, because she's she's thinking, or do you want to go, Megan? Megan,
my question was best of all time or favorite?
Your favorites.
Yeah, your favorite 5. Okay. Yeah.
I'm just gonna be judged.
No. We're all going to be judged. Are you ready to go?
We're all going to be judged. Yeah, but I like to see if there's an overlap. Titanic.
All right.
All 3 50 Shades of Grey movies.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Well, yeah, I'm sorry. I judged her.
There's 4.
Sorry about that. Okay. I'm not judging. Uh-huh.
And Eternal Sunshine for the Spotless Mind.
Ooh,
done.
Oh. Yeah, great film.
Wow, that didn't take her long. Wow.
No, it's going to take me longer. Okay, let's say I know what number 1 is for me, but I'll try to think of number 5. I think of movies that I can't change.
I'm thinking of movies I just will watch over and over.
Well,
again.
like a movie that I won't change the channel if it comes on.
Yes.
Goodfellas.
Right. That's a good one. People mention that one.
Empire Strikes Back.
Okay.
Yep. Temple of Doom.
Mm-hmm.
It's my favorite Indiana Jones movie. Beverly Hills Cop.
Okay.
That movie will never change the channel if it comes on TV for me. I think actually Eddie Murphy is a really underrated actor as a series. I think he's great. And my favorite movie of all time is Boogie Nights with Mark Wahlberg and Paul Thomas Anderson. Yeah, it's my favorite film.
Wow, you guys did well for just off the top of your head, unless you've done this before, but that's very good.
Just watched
Did you
just watch 50 Shades of Grey a lot of
a million times?
Did you want to hear? Did you want to hear my 5?
Oh,
that was going to be the next.
You read
question.
our minds.
So keep in mind, I'm a couple of years older than you guys.
Just a couple.
So some of the movies will be a little older, but I'm a Alfred Hitchcock fan. I could name 5 Hitchcock movies, but I'm only going to name one, and that's North by Northwest. I also love Psycho, Strangers on a Train, Rear Window. The list goes on and on. The Graduate with Dustin Hoffman, great movie.
Oh wow!
Yeah, thank you. Chinatown.
Haven't seen it.
What?
I know I need to.
Get out of here.
Well, you like legendary. It. Here's the thing. There's film noir movies from the 40s and 50s, and this is a film noir that was made in the 70s, and it's about old time LA and Hollywood with Jack Nicholson, and it's very, very good. Roman Polanski directed it. Okay, then I have another old movie called Sunset Boulevard.
Oh
yeah. Is that the one with the old actress?
Yes, correct.
And didn't Glenn Close do the Broadway play of it?
She may have.
That's very good. She may
I think
have.
she did.
Yeah.
Sunset Boulevard. Oh yeah.
I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. DeMille. Yes. And now the 5th one is one I rotate around. So it doesn't necessarily belong in my top 5, but I'm putting it there because I like it. I used to have Tootsie there, but this movie was made in 2004. So this is a more contemporary movie. And I rewatched it a year ago and I went crazy. So I watched it like 5 more times with my brother. But here, I'm sure you guys will love this if you've seen it. Sideways.
Yes.
Outstanding.
It's my dad's favorite movie. He talks about it all the time. It's like he's obsessed.
And we've mentioned it a bunch of times on this show just because of the impact it had on the wine industry. When Paul Giamatti improvs the line about effing Merlot,
right,
and how that just affected the Merlot business for years, even still to date. I get it from friends in the wine business. So
that's hilarious.
That's a great film.
Yeah,
that's such a great film.
Yeah. Wow.
So you mentioned The Graduate, and when I think of The Graduate, I think of the iconic musical
Simon
cue,
and
Garfunkel. Yeah. Is there a better musical cue for you in a film that like just sticks out to you off the top of your head?
Well, it's a great question. I like saying it's a great question because
even
if
it's not, I like it.
No,
I'll take
because they did a number of songs in there, but I think of theme songs that I like. So there's a movie from the 60s called Alfie with Michael Caine. And What's It All About Alfie is the theme song written by Burt Bacharach. And I really like that song. And I mentioned Tootsie, and there's a very good song, It Might Be You. Stephen Bishop sang it. There was another one. So I think of theme songs. Bowie did one called This Is Not America written by Pat Metheny, and that was for a movie with Falcon and the Snowman. But
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, I think of theme songs I like. I liked when Leo did The Great Gatsby. I liked that song by Lana Del Rey, Young and Beautiful.
I haven't seen
but you've heard that
Leo
song.
Great Gatsby.
You've heard that song.
Yeah.
So anyways,
I'm always curious how they integrate that in a film, especially since I haven't seen it because I know the song.
I went to the Simon and
Garfunkel.
Paul. No, I went to Paul Simon's tribute concert.
Oh, I remember you at the Pantages, right?
Within right in front. I was in the second row, and freaking Stevie Wonder plus the Jonas Brothers plus Garth Brooks, like right in front of me. I was like, what had happened?
Wow.
It was a seat fillers gig. So, I mean, it was classy, but I was right up there by all of them. It was pretty epic. I'll never forget that.
To go back
That's impressive, Megan. I like that.
That was amazing.
I was like, I remember when she shared it, I was like, rock on, Megan. She's at a show.
I did something really bad though, but I didn't get caught. I went.
You're about to get caught.
I left a little bit early because I knew it was about to end, and I don't like crowds. So I started leaving, and then I saw a group of girls go towards the stage and the exit, and I was like, I'm just gonna follow them. So I started following them, and I just ended up backstage. And I got on my phone and pretended like I was like working there, walking around, and I was backstage with everybody. And then I just left.
Yeah.
I didn't say hi to anybody. I was just like sitting next to like Faith Hill. And
That's funny.
That's hysterical, by the way.
No security.
So
no
she's
one
never
asked
told me
me
this one. This is
question.
great. Yeah.
Oops,
Good.
sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Good thing you didn't
Seat
mention.
Fillers isn't going to invite me back to anything now.
You should have said you were a Kill a Bottle podcast. That's why you were back there.
No, I'm here on purpose. Okay, sorry. Back to you, Craig Kilborn.
Well, Craig, I was going to ask you because you mentioned before, the cool thing about the podcast, or one of the cool things, is like there's no meetings. You're write whatever you want. You're doing whatever you want. In that sense, there's a freedom to that. And trust me, doing what we do, we love that freedom of what we do. What was your worst job?
Let's think about that. You mean like,
excited.
you mean before I was doing television, like some really bad job I had?
Was there
Could
a
be
bad
whatever.
job
I mean,
during television?
I cleaned toilets at Winn-Dixie, and that is still my motivation. When I worked as a bag boy, that I had to clean up the grocery store at the end of the night. That is my motivation to do anything to not do that again.
Yeah,
I
worked at a restaurant. I worked at a kind of a restaurant when I was right out of college, and I had to clean the men's room and the ladies' room. No one's asked me that. It's kind of embarrassing, but that's life. I mean, that's what you do, Eddie. You bring it out of people. You know?
Does that change the way you treat waiters now, having worked at a restaurant? Do you think
I'm a nice person, so I treat everyone really well.
I believe it.
Yeah, and the restaurant business is tough. I rarely send food back or wine back unless I'm trying to impress people. But yeah, so try to be nice to people. That's who I am. That's how I was raised. I'm from the Midwest. I can't help it.
Is there a dish that you have a challenge not sending back? Like if a steak is really overcooked, like for me, octopus, when it comes in, it's like rubber. It's almost impossible for me to, like, guys, I'm so sorry, just because it's overcooked.
And for steak,
like,
for
please
me,
don't pee in my food. It's not that. And steak is another one for me if it's overcooked.
Yeah.
Is there something for you that will
Unless it's Denny's.
turn the coin and you're like, all right, I kind of have to send this back?
Well, I would say, I'm trying to think. I know I sent something back once, but I can't remember what it was. But I used to drink. I used to eat my. I see you guys have a drink.
It's called Kill a Bottle. It's also
I need a drink. But I used to eat steaks medium rare, and I'm a little healthier now. So I go medium or medium well. Don't yell at me. So if it's not cooked enough, I might send it back.
Got it.
That's easier because they can just cook it longer.
Exactly.
I get so excited when I spend money on a really nice steak. Like, of course, like again, Denny's, I wouldn't send back the steak. But like if I'm at a steak place and I'm spending a lot of money, no, I'm not going to enjoy this. And I worked hard for this money. This is like 8 hours of work. That cocktail is one.
Would you order a steak at Denny's?
Yeah, they have steak and eggs at Denny's.
Oh, okay.
I found that out
steak.
this morning. Don't ask me how. It was a rough night.
I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm playing with my mic just because it's fun. It's a new mic that I got, and I like to adjust the height, and it's kind of fun.
Oh yeah, well, this is the perfect place to do that.
How's it sound? Does it sound beautiful?
Sounds professional.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds next level. Yeah.
Like
you guys. Sound
no,
great.
it actually sounds. It sounds great because it helps that you're in your den.
Yeah,
there's good. And hold on, let me get my dog. He's yelling at me.
I hear the dog. It's so fun.
You done?
I don't know what his deal is.
Watch this. I go like
Puppies, you gotta love them.
Yeah. But the lamp is really doing it. I love lamp.
You got a puppy there, huh?
I do.
Well, it's not a puppy.
I do.
Let's be real. He's 12.
He's 11. Don't add another year to my poor dog.
He's 12.
Oh, hold on. 1 second.
What's wrong with him? I don't know. Sorry. Quick break.
Just grab him. If you can. If you can, I'm gonna grab him. I'll let him sit with me.
Okay.
There he is.
Okay.
It'll just hang out.
He has my cord.
He has
This
your
is a
cord.
disaster.
Sorry about that. Usually
She's
my
cutting.
wife takes care of him, and she could not, so he's hanging out with us. This is Dr.
Megan
Indiana Jones.
Megan will be editing that out.
Yeah.
Sure will.
Yeah. Thanks, Max. Sorry about that. So, you've got the podcast, great title, and
The Life Gorgeous. Craig Kilborn podcast, The Life Gorgeous. Sir Craig Kilborn YouTube channel. A lot of people are flocking there. This is kind of what America wanted, Eddie.
It's 100% what America. Also, I think America wants an autobiography from Lord Kilby, and I don't know what would the title be.
I have a working title of Above the Fray, but yeah, I'm gonna write something. I jot down ideas. I'll have a book out there one day. It'll be fun.
Yeah, I would get a, but I want the audiobook.
The Adventures of Lord Kilby.
Yeah, I want the audiobook.
I need the audiobook with your voice reading.
Did you guys see? Did you guys see the mini series about the making of The Godfather called The Offer on Paramount?
Yeah, I've heard. I haven't watched it yet.
And it was was
Yeah.
You're the one that told me that.
I've been recommending it to everybody, and then
Good
it's funny.
You
mentioned Chinatown.
Yeah.
And I got on Twitter and I was tagging everybody involved in that production, saying that I want to see a similar documentary style show about the making of Chinatown, because, well, not documentary style show, pardon me, a scripted series about the making of Chinatown, because I can only imagine, especially after watching The Offer and seeing Robert Evans's character trying to pitch that idea and the screenwriter. I'm giving away a little bit, but I was like, I need to see something like this about Chinatown with the same actor playing Robert Evans, because I thought that was one of the best performances I've seen in a while.
Now, I'm glad you said that. Now, because why did you know anything about Robert Evans or what he was like, or did you you just like that character?
Yeah, no. So yes, I know a little bit about him, but I had a moment where the character, I think his name is Matthew Good. I think that's the name of the actor, British actor who plays Robert Evans.
That's correct.
He starts referring to people as booby.
Yep.
And it connected me again to the movie Die Hard. And in the movie Die Hard, there's a character whose name, of course, eludes me right now, but he's like the douchey LA lawyer guy, and he starts calling people booby. He's like, funny. Hans, booby. And I realized he's doing an impression of Robert Evans before Hans Gruber blows his brains out in Die Hard. And that was one of those moments. I was like, wait a second. He's doing a total Robert Evans impression in that movie.
So that's, the reason I enjoyed it so much was because of Matthew Good playing Robert Evans, getting his voice down, his mannerisms, because I knew Robert Evans. He was a friend. I hung out with him. I was at his house multiple times. We had dinner multiple times. And he was a character. And he was a womanizer, and he was a powerful man who hit rock bottom a few times, but came back, and he had that great documentary, The Kid Stays in the Picture. And so that's what made it very enjoyable for me.
So then the performance really, I don't know, everybody has, I guess, a little bit of a artistic interpretation, but did he just really capture that air for you of Robert?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, I would say this, as wonderful as the real Robert Evans is, this character was even more entertaining because he was always on. Every line he said was funny. You know what I'm saying? It was so Bob's not going to be on like that all the time, but this is a show, so they're only going to show his cool lines and his character is
that's going to be a
Polo
surreal...
Lounge, getting the table at the Polo Lounge. He used to live, his house was near the Polo Lounge, the Beverly Hills Hotel, and he was great.
No, that's what I'm like, having a surreal moment like that when you're watching a film or watching a show that's depicted on or based on someone that you actually knew. That's got to be weird. Isn't that not weird?
Well,
surreal
the thing about Robert Evans is, I don't know if you guys have seen The Kid Stays in the Picture. That was his documentary. You've got to see it.
I added it to my to watch list because I went back and I watched the Godfather 1 and 2 again, like right after I finished The Offer. So this is next.
So did I. So what happens is he had an audio book before he did The Kid Stays in the Picture. He had the audio book, and people listened to that, and it became kind of a cult thing to listen to him reading his book. And his voice changed when he was older. So the voice that he has in The Offer is around when he's 39, 40 years old. And then he's much older and his voice is different. And Matthew Good said that voice intimidated me, but I was able to capture his voice when he was working at Paramount. But in the audiobook, he'd say things like, you think I was mad? You think I was mad at him? You bet your ass I was. You bet your ass. And that's how he talked when he was. So he would say these things, and he was just an over the top. I mean, he was great.
He was a legend.
Yeah.
He was like a legend that almost from the perspective of somebody who didn't discover him until later in my life, he is like the epitome of the caricature of the Hollywood producer.
Yeah,
in
exactly.
a good way.
Yeah,
in a good way. And you realize now, after watching The Offer, at least for me, how many times people have just been trying to channel Robert Evans whenever they've been playing this or playing that.
Right.
Yeah, I think that show needs Emmys across the board, at least nominations. There's so much good TV out there, but I was blown away, Craig. That I think that was, I've been telling everybody, that's like the best show I've seen this year.
Yeah, it was great. It was great.
I waited, and I don't know if you ever do this, but I saw the last episode come out and I was like, oh man, I don't want this to end. So I waited like an extra couple of days to let myself marinate to get to the point where I was like, I can't wait to watch this and turn off the lights and turn off everything. Don't call me. I'm watching this at like 10 o'clock at night. Are you a binge show watcher? Do you wait till the show finishes to watch, or do you go week by week?
No, I'll binge. If all 10 are there, I'll watch 2 or 3 in one night. I usually don't watch more than 3 in one day.
Yeah.
A man's got to sleep. But yeah, so that was tremendous. It's different because the other show that I liked, which is, much different, but shot in LA, is Bosch. So, and then they had Bosch Legacy. That's the character who was a cop, and then Bosch Legacy, he's a private investigator. So I enjoy that. I like when they shoot shows around Los Angeles and you see Musso and Frank and you see the other places, Formosa Cafe. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, I have a high school classmate who's on Bosch, DeJuan Johnson. I haven't seen the show, so I can't speak to his character's name, but he went to high school with me. And another good friend of mine who's on I guess Bosch Legacy.
Yeah.
And he speaks nothing but the greatest things about working on that set. Both of them do. It's just, it's always good to hear that, because we've heard so many a horror story of XYZ, and it's good to see that there's this conglomerate of people that are like happy to be around each other, like Megan and I. I just did that so the folks who subscribe to the can see her face of
so great.
And listen,
I've been on some rough sets lately. I've stormed out. I'm like, I'm done. I'm done.
Stormed out.
I'm like the lowest on the totem pole, and I'm like, I can't take it anymore.
The funny thing is, I believe that.
I know.
Yeah.
And they won't even notice if I leave.
Anyway. They're like, who was that?
Who was that?
Who was that? I saw her backstage at Simon and at the Paul
really
Simon
important.
thing. I don't know what she was doing there, talking to Faith
You
Hill.
should do your bracket.
So I have a couple of questions to warm Craig up, because not that he needs warming up, but I took the time to look for ridiculous questions, and your 5 questions is something that I loved so much.
Thank you.
Watching it, really, and I heard you tell the story on Rich Eisen, on where that came from, and I don't know, guys, go watch that Rich Eisen that bit on YouTube of Craig telling his story, because it's great. I don't have 5 questions. I have 6, because I got to mix it up a little bit. I don't want you to sue me for having 5. So I'll start with I know you're a jazz fan, so does a harmonica belong in jazz?
I'm going to say off the top of my head, yes, because there are some creative harmonica players. I'm going to say yes.
Yeah, the answer is yes. Toots Thielsman is one of the greatest jazz harmonica players ever, or just greatest jazz musician. So I'll give you that. If animals could talk, which would be the rudest?
I'm going to say the pig, even though some say they're gentle, but I'm going to say the pig.
Okay, that sounds right to me.
They probably don't
Absolutely
like the way
wrong.
they don't like the way they look, and they're going to take it out on us.
Yeah. I knew a few people in high school that became police officers that did that. All right. So what sport would be the funniest to add a mandatory amount of alcohol to?
I was almost going to say auto racing, but I won't. That would not be, that would not be
if
good.
it was bumper cars, maybe.
How about golf?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that'd be great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's safe enough. The crowds have to be.
As long as they don't let go of the club, or maybe couldn't have a crowd there.
No crowds.
No crowd golf. Okay. Who would you prefer to have as a roommate? Rich Eisen or Chris Berman?
Rich Eisen.
Ooh, that was quick. Chris Berman.
Is there a reason?
Yeah.
Well, they called Chris Berman Boomer. He was very nice to me, by the way. But he doesn't, his volume is always up. You know, he talked, his voice is like that. And that was, you gave me a choice, and Rich is such a sweet man. So that's easy for me. I know Rich. I don't really know Chris that much.
What is the worst song ever?
Oh gosh, that is a hard one.
Baby Shark cannot be the song that you choose. Sorry.
This is not it, because it's probably a decent song. But when I was in high school, I didn't like it. So I listened to soul music, Earth, Wind and Fire, Barry White, Prince when I was in high school. There was a song that I didn't like called I'm Sailing Away. I think it's by Styx. Is that right?
Yeah. I'm sailing away.
Yeah. I didn't like
Cartman sings it in South Park very terribly.
Yeah.
And the last of these, the sixth question is, if a Smurf starts to choke, what color will it become?
Purple. What color are they? Green? I don't
They're
know.
blue.
They're blue. Okay.
Yeah.
So they're going to turn red or green. Which one do you want? Is there a correct answer?
Yeah.
Yeah, there is. Megan knows the answer. Bear with me. She wrote that one.
Green.
Wrong. It's red. No, I don't know. I was just going to do the opposite of anything you said.
All right, so
that was my idea. I started writing down these funny things and I got too scared,
right.
Mr. Kilborn. I was too scared to ask you. It was going to be a whole list of questions where I just told you no was the answer. Like every answer you gave me was going to be wrong. And I was going to give you a reasoning behind it, but I just got too nervous. I'm just not there yet.
You're too
I'll
nice.
get there.
You're too
Next
nice
time.
to be that rude.
So I consider you a almost like a Mr. Minnesotan, so to speak. And you know, Mr. Minnesota, you know, try to say that 3 times fast. A Minnesotan doesn't have to be somebody originally from there. It could be somebody that just aligns so much with that state. And I put together a little bracket, Craig, kind of like a good college football bracket. But I want to see, who comes out as Mr. or Mrs. Minnesota.
Okay.
So I'm just going to give you a couple pairings, a few, and we'll go down the line and see who ends up, who reigns supreme. Does that work for you? Okay.
I'm going to try to follow you.
All right. So first is Prince versus Judy Garland.
So what is the game? I'm supposed to say
who is the most Minnesota? Well, I want to find, Pitbull is Mr. 305. I want to find out who is most Minnesota.
Okay, that's Prince.
Okay, so Prince. Okay, so bye Judy Garland. All right, we got that.
Oh, it's aggressive.
Yeah, I know. Lord Kilby or F. Scott Fitzgerald.
F. Scott Fitzgerald.
You took you out of the game.
Yeah.
You took yourself out of the game quickly. All right.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, that's okay.
There's a part of me that could have argued that now I care so much about, I've reconnected with my state. It never left me. And when I don't think he kept connection. He was on the East Coast writing, but
most people are going to listen and be like, F. Scott Fitzgerald's from Minnesota. Vince Vaughn or the Coen brothers?
Coen brothers.
Okay. Yeah. I always think Vince Vaughn. I think Chicago.
Correct.
Kirby Puckett or Charles Schultz?
Kirby Puckett.
Okay.
He won a World Series.
He did. Yeah, that's right. He won 2, right?
reasoning.
87 and 92.
Correct.
Yeah. Jessica Lange or Jessica Biel?
Jessica Lange.
Yep. King Kong for the win. Okay. Bob Dylan, John Madden.
Bob Dylan.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah. Then we get there. I didn't realize there were so many amazing folks from Minnesota. Leah Thompson or Chad Smith from the Red Hot Chili Peppers?
I don't know. I don't know. Is there a correct answer there? Because I don't have I'm going to say the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I don't.
Wrong.
No, these are your feelings here.
Absolutely not.
I don't know those two people that well. Sorry.
Randy Moss or Carl Anthony Towns?
Carl Anthony Towns.
Wow, that was quick.
Well, I like him more, but others will say Randy Moss, second greatest receiver of all time after Jerry Rice.
Hard stance. Okay, so now we're going down the line. We've got Prince and the Coen brothers.
Prince.
Okay. I like
have a
this.
feeling who's going to win.
F. Scott or Kirby Puckett?
Kirby Puckett.
Yep. Jessica Lange or Red Hot Chili Peppers?
Jessica Lange, Cloquet, Minnesota.
And Tootsie, one of your favorite films.
Right.
Carl Anthony or Bob Dylan?
Bob Dylan.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we're down to the wire here. We've got Prince or Jessica Lange?
Prince.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right. And then Kirby Puckett or Bob Dylan?
I put money on this. Don't F this up.
Bob Dylan.
Bob Dylan. Wow. So it comes down to musical gods, Prince and Bob Dylan. What do we got?
So it's been said about Bob Dylan that in 100 years his music will still be talked about. I'm going to go Little Red Corvette, Prince.
Yes.
Do Me Baby.
I was hoping it would come down to you versus Prince, but
Do Me Baby.
Oh, such a legendary song. So we got it. He was right. I mean, it is Prince.
I thought it was Bob Dylan.
Yeah, you thought it was Bob. Did you even know?
A lot of
Bob Dylan
people
was from
love
Minnesota.
Everyone loves Bob Dylan. I mean, all my friends love Bob Dylan. Yeah,
it's so funny. I love Bob Dylan, but he's one of those people that I always hear somebody covering his music, and I end up liking it more than his interpretation of it.
Right.
But that's just my musical taste.
Yeah, it's a different kind of his singing voice is an acquired taste, but he's a wonderful songwriter.
One of the greatest, yeah. So he's like an
my
American
favorite
poet.
songs is Don't Think Twice by Bob Dylan. That's my favorite. And that and Blackbird by the Beatles, just simple, easy.
That's right. You told that to Martina McBride and she loved that song too. Yeah.
What's your favorite song? Mr. Kilborn?
What's that?
What's your favorite song?
You mean of any particular artist or?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I can name my two favorite songs ever over anything ever.
Oh,
Bob Dylan's. Yeah.
Oh, you're saying, but what's my favorite Bob Dylan song?
No.
Song.
Ever.
I can't do that. I've never thought of that. I have so many favorite songs. I mean, I listen to a lot of jazz. I listen to Bill Evans. There are beautiful old standards. There Is No Greater Love. Round Midnight. There's a song called Blue and Green that's very melancholy. I Loves You Porgy, which is a beautiful song. And then let's see. I'll tell you a song I like that we all can relate to. And this is I like Rainbow Connection.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty, isn't it?
It's the same backing to my to why I like, Blackbird and Don't Think Twice. It's just mellow, it's pretty, it's simple, and it's genius.
Wait a second. Did you just say your two songs or not?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you say Blackbird?
Mm-hmm.
Is that the Beatles song?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So
there's thoughts.
What's that?
No, I was like, what are your thoughts?
Well, I have thoughts on that. I do like talking music, and it's interesting. It's very personal for people, but I was on a podcast as a guest. My friend Alex Sulkin and Goldie. These are my two buddies who are writers. They were both on my show on air, but they were very funny writers. They write for Family Guy, and Alec wrote the movie Ted with Seth MacFarlane, and he likes music. And I mentioned a singer that he didn't know, he shouldn't know. He's an underrated singer, and his name is Kenny Rankin. And are you in front of your computer right now?
Sure.
Can you go to YouTube? Is that the fastest way to do it, or is Spotify? What's the fastest way for you to hear this guy's voice? But he does sing Blackbird, and I wanted you to hear the song that I like. You never heard a song called "When Sunny Gets Blue," have you?
Mm-mm.
Oh, does it work if I play it over my phone or not?
Yeah, you could try that. Just put your phone into the mic.
Bam. Kenny Rankin popped up here. We've got What Matters Most, Regrets, Strings, The Way You Look Tonight, Haven't We Met?
If you play it via your phone, I can cut in the actual little clip of it too, so people could hear it better.
Is it easy if Eddie just plays it if I tell him?
Yeah, that's easy too. Yeah, we can do it.
Okay, so first do When Sunny Gets Blue at Kenny Rankin. I want you to hear this guy's voice. I think he passed away. But he was underrated, but some of us knew him.
I can't find When Sunny Gets Blue. I see When the Sun Comes Out.
Do I have to put my Bluetooth on or just play this through the mic?
You can just play it, put it up to the mic.
Yeah.
Okay, just 1 second. I just want to see something. I just want to try something. Okay.
Do you have an iPhone?
Yeah, listen to this. Watch this. When sunny gets blue, Okay, what do you think of that guy's voice?
See,
I don't think
take me back.
I don't think Blackbird is as good, but as that one. But let me see when he does Blackbird.
Oh yeah.
Okay, just a sec.
So he plays guitar as well?
This is for Megan, the underappreciated producer of Kill the Bottle.
Speak more to the mic, sir. That'd be much appreciated.
Long intro.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like Blackbird at all yet.
Let him. I just want you to hear his voice.
Wow.
He's got a voice, man.
Yeah,
Kenny Rankin. He's underrated. He's underrated. I'm telling you.
Under-ranking Kenny Rankin.
Underrated Kenny Rankin.
But that's so cool because there's so many times you'll find they'll find artists like that for some reason or another, whatever that is, they're not as in played it on popular radio, even if it's just popular jazz radio, you don't hear as often.
Yeah,
and it's great, those fun discoveries.
Yeah, my dad knew about him. I grew up in Minnesota, and then I saw him. I was out of college, living in San Francisco, and he wasn't. I saw him locally in Hartford perform at a bar when I was working at ESPN. So he played smaller venues, but I was out of college living in San Francisco, and there was a local morning show in San Francisco, and Kenny Rankin was on. So I watched it on television, and he said, "I'm going to do a song," and he named a woman. He dedicated it to her. Let's say her name was Angelina, who lives between the beats of my heart. And then he sang this song. But I love that, who lives between the beats of my heart. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and then you wonder, you're like, has he said this before? Or did he just come up with that one?
No, that's a line that he had worked on. But I thought it was, hey,
I was like, that's
Eddie in The Offer. When Ally McGraw comes over, she's now having the affair with Steve McQueen. She comes over to Bob's house to talk to him, and
he's got the dinner set up for her.
Got the dinner set up, and he says a line, and I might twist it, but he said, "Ally, I could paint your face blindfolded."
Yeah,
remember that? Yep. That was poetic.
Oh man, it's there was so many beautiful. I can't stress enough, folks. Like go, if just get Paramount Plus for a month and watch that series.
Right. How about at the end, at the premiere, the episode 10 in New York, Ally shows up and Kissinger shows up for Bob.
Oh man. And you see Charlie, who was the head of Paramount.
Bloodhorn.
Yeah. And you see his reaction because he wanted that moment. And Bob is the guy who just delivered. He was, he was like Karl Malone. He was the mailman. He delivered.
Despite his coke problem, he had some issues, but he overcame them. Good for him.
I was. It's funny you were playing the wanting to play Kenny Rankin, and it brings me back to. Do you have a jazz spot that you like to check out from time to time here in LA? Because I grew up. My dad's a jazz musician.
Yeah. And, I don't. I used to go to the one on Sunset. I saw a couple people there. I saw John Pizzarelli. I saw McCoy Tyner, great piano player.
Oof.
Oh, you know him.
Miles. Oh yeah.
I didn't know you would know him. I'm glad I mentioned his name. Yeah. So I don't have a go-to spot. I listen to it every morning in my club chair when I have my coffee. I listen to Bill Evans, who was a piano player.
Oh yeah.
And he was tremendous. I'm shifting gears for music because I was just reminded of something. In 1985, I know this will tell you how old I am, which I'm very proud of. I look pristine.
Yeah.
But I moved to San Francisco to live with my brother. I was out of college, Montana State. And my brother was actually he's a software engineer, but like a lot of people, he was writing music at the time. And a song came out, and that summer, it was my favorite song. And my brother and his friend always said, "Hey, your song, that's your song." We'd go to clubs and stuff. Kate Bush running up that hill.
Wow.
That's making a huge comeback.
Now everyone's
comeback,
covering it on YouTube because of the show. And
I just learned it. I just learned it. Yeah, I did.
I mean, I was 6 years old. I remember that song. But
yeah.
Oh, it's such a good song. Talk about
but back then in the 80s, there was a group called Talk Talk, and they did a song called "It's My Life," and it was covered by Gwen Stefani. And I told my niece, and she's like, "I thought that was Gwen Stefani's song. She covered it. It's not an original." I said, "No, it was from a group in the 80s."
Well, it was like that
it's always the come to Jesus moment when us youngins realize that.
Well, McCartney went on stage with Kanye West, and people were asking who that old guy was with Kanye West doing a. I know. It was one of those moments where I was like, yeah. It was It was one of those. It was one of those moments. And no,
it is hilarious. It's like you won't know this, but you won't know this name, or maybe you won't know either of them. But in the 90s, in an interview. I have to remember his name. Albert Brooks.
Oh yeah.
Said we're all insignificant. No one under 30 knows who Jack Benny is. So he was naming a comic from the 50s. And but I don't know if you know either of those names. But it is true. People forget. New artists come, and that's the way it is.
Well, no, Albert Brooks he's great. He's I can't remember the name of the film where he's dead and he's like in heaven, but he's in like some paradox world, and Albert Brooks is in the afterlife. I don't even know, it might be called Afterlife. He's brilliant comedian. I was gonna tell you, if you haven't heard it yet. Well, first of all, before I even tell you that, do you play piano? Because I know you have a piano.
No, my mom played piano, and then a lot of my friends do. So I wanted to get one.
Okay,
that's why I have
one. Fair. Because one of the most beautiful pieces of jazz music, in my opinion, is a piece by Bill Evans. And it's called "Turn Out the Stars," and I'll DM you a link to it so you can hear him play it. But I was given that sheet music, like a transcription of his exact performance, this particular live performance.
Yeah.
And talk about being humbled by a piece of paper as a kid studying piano when you see what this person was playing straight off the top of his head, just based on a chord progression and the way jazz works.
Right.
I don't know.
There's a chance I might know. Yeah, there's a chance I might know the song. I don't know the name of it, but if I hear it, I might know it. I'm going to look it up, or you can send it to me. But he was apparently very special with his chord structure, and he had a different sound, and that's why. I mean, I have a Pandora Bill Evans station, and when my friends come over, I just have it in the background. They go, "What is this? This is wonderful," because it's very soothing and calming and beautiful. And so music, it's just it's great.
Well, you know what else is soothing and calming and beautiful?
Craig's voice.
Yes, and he has a podcast.
That's right.
And we're all super excited about.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Yeah.
And his podcast comes out today. Today, as in today.
Come back to us. Go to him, then come back here.
Yeah. I mean,
talk about it somewhere.
And but so Craig, is it exclusive to YouTube, or are folks going to be able to see it or
no,
hear
it's
it anywhere
on
else?
all the play, Apple, Spotify, everywhere.
Got it.
Life
so
Gorgeous.
It is
Craig Kilborn podcast, The Life Gorgeous.
The Life Gorgeous, and on YouTube specifically, it is his Lord was it Lord Kilby
on
channel?
YouTube? It's Sir Craig Kilborn.
Sir Craig
channel.
Sorry, I keep calling you Lord Kilby because I don't know.
There's so many names. Maybe I could simplify it, but I'm having too much fun, and my wife says simplify it, but I don't know. Yeah. So
Craig, it sincerely is such an exciting. I've been so excited today to get to chat with you again. It really is so much fun.
We didn't even talk hoop this time, did we?
I did that on purpose. I am so fighting myself. It was hard for me to put Carl Anthony Towns' name in the bracket. Okay. Because I was like, I want to talk Rudy Gobert with him.
I wanted to know. So make sure you listen to the podcast with Ryan, which might be the one today.
Okay.
We're going to decide in moments, but he ripped the Rudy Gobert trade. And then he's a friend of mine, and I went after him delicately, and I told him why he was wrong. Because Carl needs help up there, and it's hard to get guys up in that cold market, small market of Minnesota, and we had to give up some. I don't like how many draft picks, but I think it's going to work out really well. I think it's going to help Carl.
Well, when you added, was it Defensive Player of the Year?
Yes.
More than once. Yeah. When you add that to your team, I think you did something. You have to give up to receive.
Yeah.
Especially nowadays. Few times can Pat Riley pull off a magic move where he gives up like nothing and gets a star and back. So Craig, the one thing we don't get back in life is time. And we want to thank you so much for spending a little bit of your precious, gorgeous time with us. Folks, please check out Craig's new show. Follow him on Instagram. Follow him just don't follow him when you see him on the street. So if you see him on Larchmont Village, just be nice, be friendly, and don't photobomb his selfie video. Stare awkwardly like Megan would. Craig, it really means the world to us, and we're so happy to be able to support you. And I really can't wait to hear your show today, and I can't wait to see it on YouTube. I subscribed already, so folks, do the same. Like, subscribe, comment, rate, review. Everything makes an impact, whether you think it doesn't. It really does.
Yeah.
Thanks again, Craig. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Good to see you again.
Good to see you. Awesome.
Yeah, Turn Out the Stars is going to blow your mind.
Say that again. Oh, cool.
That
was great.
His chord inversions. It is like, that's what, I play piano, and my dad brought me up listening to Bill Evans, and he would.
The fact that you know McCoy Tyner is impressive.
They both played with Miles.
How old are you, by the way?
I'm 43.
Okay. I was going to say 38, but you know this stuff. That's good for you.
Yeah, no, I'll take it.
Megan, does this bother you, this glare right here? I can tweak the light. You want me to move that or not? Does that bother you? I'm working on this stuff. So anyway.
Well, one thing back then, before I let you go, one thing that was so big back then about Bill Evans is, the level of racism in the US, as you know, during the times of Miles and all those guys. For a white guy like Bill Evans to be in Miles's group, you had to be a badass, because Miles did not care. He kicked your ass day in and day out. So that just says right there so much about Bill Evans as a piano player. He wasn't the flashiest because he didn't have to be.
Right. He was a stud. Yep.
Incredible. Thank you, Craig. For real, I can't wait to hear. And if anything changes, just let me know. And I'll, I'm excited for you, man. I can't wait to check it out.
Thanks, guys. See you later.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.